Joining us now to discuss is New York City mayoral candidate himself, Curtis Sliwa. Curtis, good to see you, sir. It's a big city, so that's a start. It sounds like Staten Island, the folks over there like you. Give us a feel for why you want to run and why you think the city needs you at the top.
Well, number one, you know New York City is a sea of blue, and the only red is in Staten Island. It's the strongest GOP county in all 5 boroughs, and they've embraced me. And they had the Congresswoman, Nicole Malliotakis, who is serving her constituents in both Staten Island and Brooklyn. But the reason I'm running for mayor is our city is a ghost town. Look, your colleague, Greg Kelly, and I, oftentimes we meet in the subways. He takes the subways to do his Newsmax show, and we're dealing with emotionally disturbed people who clearly should not be in the subways, who are causing harm to themselves and others. The politicians pay no mind to it whatsoever. Crime is at an all-time high in terms of what we've seen recently. And we've got to save our city. And I don't see any of the other Democrats shaping up when it comes to law and order. You see the Yang gang, they want to give out money that we don't have. And the rest of them just want to defund the police and defund prisons, which is going to make it easier for criminals to have their way. This city is a ghost town because of it.
Yeah, I mean, Curtis, I've been in the city like a little over 11 years now. I've never been afraid to go out on the streets. You know, and when I worked at early morning show, I was out there at 2 o'clock in the morning heading to work. Never worried about it at all. But today, I am afraid during the day and at night and constantly on alert. So what do you do? How are you going to change that?
Well, number one, you have to get the cops back to doing what they were doing before Mr. Floyd was killed in the streets of South Minneapolis by the Minneapolis cops. Remember, they've been neutered ever since. They've been rendered impotent by elected officials who are afraid of their own shadows. By the way, these elected officials have armed security provided by the NYPD, the very group that they've defended. How hypocritical. So number one, you restore the money that was taken away, the $1 billion in the budget. And as a morale boost, I, as the mayor, will visit every one of the precincts. I'll pat these cops so hard on the back they'll have to go for a chiropractic adjustment, letting them know, look, go out, take the city streets back, the subways back, within the measures of the law, because if you go over the line, you'll have Curtis Sliwa as your enemy. But they need that morale boost. They're properly trained. They certainly have the individual mandate to go out and do it. They just need a mayor who's going to be their cheerleader and got their back.
You know, Giuliani was a Republican, and he won. And by the way, I take the subway also, just like you're saying. It's not like it was. I also run into you at the bagel shop. And so there are a lot of dying businesses here in this city. How do you get those Democrats to vote for a Republican again, just like they did for Giuliani?
Well, remember, you had the Reagan Democrats, you had the Giuliani Democrats. They will cross over. You also have to have an independent line. There are some Democrats, until the day they die, they think they would be cursing the grave sites of their mothers, fathers, and grandparents if they ever voted for a Republican. So you give them an independent line to also vote for you. And law and order and quality of life and the whole broken windows theory of not accepting any violations that then lead to misdemeanors, felonies, and the no bail law that we're plagued with here in this state. And moderate Democrats and the growing number of independents who generally are hipsters and millennials and have no allegiance to either party, they're free agents. I believe we can get enough of them to make the difference, and I can become the next mayor of the city of New York. So bring on the Yang gang and all the rest who have only eyes to defund the police and make this city even more dangerous than it is now.
Yeah, we do not need that. I think we need you, Curtis. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. I hope to see you down in the subterranean hell known as the subway system of New York City.
Only after you fix it up. Only after you fix it up, Curtis. Thank you.